I've learned a couple of things that Canadian people say for cars, specifically the weirdest way. One, Mazda is Mazda.
Mazda.
Right? A manual transmission is a standard transmission.
Yes.
Right?
Not
I always
manuel.
thought that was hilarious.
Not manuel.
Yeah, it's standard.
See.
And then today I learned that hazards are called foursomes.
Foursomes, yeah.
Four ways.
Four ways.
Four ways.
Yeah.
What is up, internet world, and welcome back to Accelerate. My name is Mike, Ian's on vacation, and today we're bringing the 2024 Buick Envista completely shot by me. So the audio is terrible and half this video is probably gonna be out of focus. Let's go. In the 2024 Buick Envista that makes 136 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque with my boy Omar Drives. If you don't follow him, he's on TikTok, killing the game. Let's see what this thing does. Got the draggy on. They say 8 seconds. Can we get it? Let's get some power. Come on, was the front wheels? Did the front wheels just squeal?
Yeah,
almost.
8.13.
Whew. Wow, that was exhilarating. You sweating yet or what? I am,
but I'm still thinking of why you called it Envista.
Is it not an Envista?
Isn't it Envista?
It's Envista. Isn't it tomato?
Is it like the whole Canadian thing? Mazda and Mazda?
Mazda.
Yeah.
It's four ways. It's four ways.
It's hazards.
Not hazards. It's four ways. Okay, back to this beast. So here I am in Detroit, Michigan, looking for a replacement SUV for my friend John. You see, John used to have a Lamborghini Urus until his ex-wife took it all away. Poor John. So John's been having nightmares, thinking he's not going to be able to find a woman without his Lambo Urus. And that has been the case for most guys in 2023, which is crazy. Thank God they have me. So here we are today to look at this. This is the 2024 Buick Envista that resembles pieces of a Lamborghini Urus. It costs 1/10 of the price. It makes 1/5 of the power, but as far as design goes, there's a case. This is Buick attacking the affordability market right in its face, but they've added image, and that's why this is important. So in my opinion, this will sell way more than any Buick has ever done, and I'll tell you why. Because they're attacking two pieces. One is cost. You see, Buick wasn't always the cheapest, but now it is. It has a starting price in the US of $23,500, and in Canada, it's $29,000, but they've added another piece that they've never had before, and that is sexy. Yep, attainable and sexy. You put those two pieces together, and that's what 2023 is all about. Moving into 2024, you got this. This is why this will sell, in my opinion. Attainable and sexy. Now, it doesn't come in all-wheel drive. It does not have CVT, so there's a plus. But all-wheel drive is probably a big factor. People are going to say it's not all-wheel drive. I'm not even looking at it. Attainable, sexy, winter tires. Because then that will make the difference. Now they've layered it with something unique. They've put a 1.2 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder in this thing. So when you're looking at buying one, you'll think 1.2 liter? That's really small. It must be good on fuel. Now it's decent. It's not super miser-like. It's decent. In all the reviews and all the people on this little event here in Detroit, I've asked them, how is fuel? They're like, it's decent. It's not as good as what you'd expect out of a 1.2 naturally aspirated motor, obviously, but it makes decent power. So there's that. So the Envista is available in 3 different trim levels. The first is the Preferred, then there's this, the ST, and then the top dog, the Avenir. Now, let's talk about this front end. You remember that Wildcat EV that you used to see at auto shows over the last year or so? Well, the front end is derived from that. That's a cool looking EV, and this is the first Buick to ever wear this front design language. You can see these DRLs are nice and sharp, and they are called winged DRLs according to Buick. Now, they've updated this logo, this tri Tri-Shield logo. It's the new Buick design. Although it's still Buick-y, it's just a little bit more modern. When you move your finger up from the middle of the Tri-Shield, you will see that there is a seam and it has one side and the other. It's sort of a cool touch, especially at this price point. Usually there's one big panel, but this thing has 3 individual cuts. You'll also see that it's curved here, and there's a lot of different design elements that go into this hood, which is kind of strange at this price point. I really like that. Now moving down from there, this is where it gets a little bit more fish-eyed or big mouth with this grille. It's a massive, massive grille for such a small vehicle. You've got the ST badge here, you've got a black grille, but you also have some other features that are unique, especially at this price point for the 15th time. When you see moving your hand below, you have an actual lower valance that comes into this sort of satin steel or matte silver look, and then from there you have another lower valance. You have 3 essentially lower valances, which is pretty wild, again, for this price point. To the side of the Envista. It's got a longer wheelbase than I expected, to be honest. It's quite actually long. It's a small compact SUV, but it kind of looks like a hatchback / car from the front. It's got a lot of mixes going on. I do like the front, but the back end over here is pretty cool. Anyways, let's start in the front section. If you notice, you'll see piano black that clads the wheels, but also runs all the way along the bottom, up and over. So the whole bottom is piano black or gloss black with this ST trim. This one has 18-inch wheels, but you can get 19s as well. It does have gloss on the side of the mirrors. It does have gloss black up on the upper part of the trim, but no gloss black on the bottom. This is more of a rubberized material. You do have painted door handles, front and back, obviously, but the front is the only one where you put the key in your pocket that you can lock and unlock by pushing this button, which is the same as the Kia Seltos, I might add. This part right here is the part that really excites me. This slant back or sport back or fast back configuration really competes with the Audi Q3 in terms of design. It's beautiful right here. I honestly don't know which one I'd pick if I was just simply picking design. Take a look at this part right here. It's done really, really well. Buick is going to knock it out of the park for this feature right here in terms of design language and the front. But let's take a look at the back. To the back of the all-new Envista. So you know what I like about it? I like that it's a small, compact SUV, yet it doesn't look small from the back or the front. I like how they've kind of manipulated the looks and the angles and the bends. Anyways, if we start with the top, you will see that is a color-painted shark fin. You'll also notice that there is no rear wiper on this thing. Well, Buick and even Kia with their EV6 say you don't need a wiper when you're driving fast and it's smooth and water can just fly off the back windshield and take a bump with this little spoiler that they've integrated in this rear panel here. You'll also notice that they've updated something new, the Buick. B-U-I-C-K. It's separated and spaced now. Of course, this is the updated badge like I talked about in the front. You've got the ST in black there for sport touring. And then on this side, you have Envista. Now, it's nice and high. I like the fact that it's high, it's not low. Sometimes these like crossover SUVs look kind of funny, but this one looks really good. Moving down from there, you have a lot of piano black. You've got the same silver trim that you have on the front. And then you have this parking sensor that's right in the middle that looks like it's some sort of hitch or camera, but it's not a camera. It is a parking sensor. The camera is hiding underneath there. And if you want to open up this trunk lid, you put your finger right where the eye is, you push the button, and it is power. Yep, this price point, power. Now, as far as trunk room goes, you do have a decent amount of depth, but you lose a little bit of height due to the design of the sportback, hatchback, fastback, whatever you'd like to call it. Now, underneath the floor, which is pretty durable, this floor will hold a lot of weight. When you lift it up, you do have a full-size spare. I will say, though, you have more space. They could have lowered this little floor here probably another 2 inches. Even though you do have a full-size spare, there is more room underneath. On the right side here, you do have a little bit of indentation, probably for clubs. On the right side here, you do have a little bit more of a tray, a little bit more depth on that side. There is no 24 or 12 volt plug. There is a light, and that's really about it. Now the seats do fold 60/40, so let's see how those look on the inside. Back seat of the Envista. Now check this out. I pull it, it gives me this little red indicator saying that it's not closed or latched, and I put the seats flat. Now it's very, very close to flat. If I put my weight down on it, it actually is flat. So these seats do fold flat. That is good to know. So let's jump inside and see the quality. Now, first things first, I noticed it has a completely flat floor. This is not electric. They have no intention of making this electric. It is a flat floor. There is no transmission tunnel because it is front-wheel drive, and it's going to be front-wheel drive forever. It also doesn't have any vents. It does have a cubby here where I can put storage in, but there is no venting. There is a USB-C and a USB. There is a map or some sort of holder back here where you can put, like, say, your whatever, laptop, iPad, that kind of stuff. There is blue stitching. That is pretty cool. Blue stitching all the way around. There's no blue piping on the back seats. There's blue piping on the front seats. There's nothing to put your cups. There's no sort of foldy thing where you can have cup holders in the armrest. None of that over here. It's only in the doors. Now, speaking of doors, it's not completely plastic all the way. There is actually a fab material over here in the back with blue stitching. And again, you obviously have something to put your cups in. But other than that, there's nowhere else to put your cups around here. It's only in the doors. You do have lights here, and you do have a speaker here because if you are on Bluetooth, you can talk and the people in the front can hear, as well as obviously the person on the other side of the phone. Yep, that's the back seat. Front seat of the all-new Buick Envista. Whew. Damn, this sort of one piece they added is making a big difference in my opinion. And that is this sort of contoured gritty material they've used on the dash and also the door panels. But they've added this blue stitching that's sort of contrasted really, really well. That's nice. I like it. Normally it's just all plastic. I'm expecting a plastic door. That's kind of what it is at this price point. But this little textured material is a thumbs up. They also have this trim that has this another like sort of topography design going through it. So good touch there. Buick. Of course, you lock and unlock the doors. You have power mirrors. That's pretty standard. You have power driver's seat in Canada, as well as a heated steering wheel. You also have this button over here where I can make the trunk go up fully or 3/4 right on this door panel there. I do have enough space for a pretty big bottle. That's not a big bottle. This is a small bottle, but I do have space for a big one. And then continuing onto the dash, again, that's a texture material with that blue stitching. It does have a display in the front. It's not heads-up display. It's more of an indicator if I'm going to hit something in front of me. But of course, the big news here are these two screens. You have 11 and 8, 19 inches of screen, and then you have this one panel that looks like the Jetsons, if you ask me. It's flared out, looks kind of funny. Anyways, it does have a flat bottom steering wheel. It does have the new Buick logo right there. Again, the steering wheel is pretty GM. It's pretty straightforward. You've seen the steering wheel a million places, a million cars. That's pretty straightforward stuff. It includes HVAC. It does have a single climate control in this ST model. It is automatic, but there's only one control. You don't have dual climate control. The Avenir has dual climate control, different setup. This one does have this chrome piece along with the black piano black trim. I like the way all this material mixes together. That is a thumbs up. Now back to the screen for 2 seconds before I forget. This does have a wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. It doesn't need to be plugged in. And for this screen size, its competitor that's also built in South Korea does have to plug it in, but not this guy. This one also does have a wireless charger for your phone. It is an option, but it's right here in this ST. It does have USB and USB-C. It does have a cigarette plug that you can plug it in. Of course, it does have a start and stop button. Moving down here is kind of typical, to be honest. It does have a lot of piano black in the wrong spots, but hey, it's not the first one. This is sort of built off the Chevy tracks. They share a lot of the same stuff, and this is kind of similar to that. Park, reverse, neutral, drive, and L for low gear, and then an electromechanical parking brake underneath that. You do have in front of that your lane keep, your start and stop, and then 2 blank buttons. You do have some storage here for some coins and maybe some, fruits and grapes and all kinds of small stuff. Underneath here, you have a pretty deep center console. You can fit probably 3-4 big bottles of water. That's really good. I like that they have space in the center. There is no plug or nothing or no light. It is just fairly basic. Well, again, price point. The cool part though is the stitching on the seats. It follows the same stitching here, but it has piping along the side. And let's not forget about the crested headrest that says ST on it. Now, this is an ST. It does not have the sunroof. It doesn't have a panoramic sunroof. You can get a regular sunroof, but there's no panoramic available in an Envista. So most people are going to use the screen basically for Apple CarPlay or to activate the teen driver. So here we go. This is what Apple CarPlay looks like. It takes up pretty much the whole screen. Excellent job. On the left-hand side, you have the hard buttons, or I should say the fixed buttons or fixed virtual buttons on the left-hand side. That's cool to have, but this is what the screen looks like, and it is great. And yes, this is my 10th iPhone. So what do you think about the outside?
I think it's really good looking. I'm
It
not
is
gonna lie.
good looking, right?
Forget if this had a different badge other than
Yes.
Buick, people will be like, "Oh my god, this thing looks great." It really looks good from every angle.
And what do you think about this new badge? The badge that looks like the old badge with some, it's just more
Without
thinner.
a circle around
with
it.
with like a fitness influence. Skinnier.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I
bit more.
like it. I'm digging it.
Okay, all right. What other questions do I got for you, Omar Drives? Let's start with softness of ride. So if you get the Avenir, you get this Watts suspension in the back, and that's basically like a torsion bar that goes from end to end. It's actually a pretty cool setup. Yeah, we'll take a peek at it.
I did not know that.
No? Only on the Avenir. It makes it more sporty. But
It makes it sportier?
It's
Isn't Avenir
sportier.
supposed to be more comfortable and luxurious?
No, that's the ST, buddy. That's the little badge on the front that makes things sporty.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you're saying the Avenir is more sportier than the Sport Touring? This is a Sport Touring.
This is a Sport Touring.
The
But-
ST.
Yes, but the ST has it. You can get it as an option with this Watts suspension. But the Avenir comes standard
it
with
comes
it.
standard.
But it's more sporty. It
So
makes
the
you feel.
Avenir is sportier than the Sport Touring as standard,
Yes.
but the Sport Touring can be as sporty as the Avenir. with
Yes.
an op.
Yes. I feel like
Cool,
images.
yeah.
I feel like image is
Makes sense.
everything with this thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm like, they make it cheap enough because it is like super cheap. 23 and a half is a
Yeah.
great starting price.
Yep.
Loaded, it's 30
US.
US. Loaded, it's like 32 and change. In Canada, it's 38, but it has more equipment because us Canadians like to throw more stuff at it, including heated steering wheel. We're all
You
about the
guys
heated
get
steering wheel.
all the good stuff up there, man.
Yes.
Like your
yes.
Civic Type R is nice.
We have-
Ours is so bare bone. We don't have heated seats, heated steering.
Because it's marketing, man. The U.S. just loves marketing. They just love that like starting price number. I don't know why,
I
but
guess
you
so.
can't even get the car. Can you even get cars at starting prices here?
Not anymore.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Not
So
anymore.
it's like people know that like starting price is useless. Same with like horsepower and torque on this thing. When you pull this thing off the highway, I was like, wow, this thing actually rips pretty good. It's got a ton of torque, right?
100%. When I read the specs on this before coming out here, I was like 136 horsepower. This is the same engine from the tracks. And
Yeah.
I was like, this thing's not going to move.
It's gonna be slow as molasses.
A luxury Buick brand type of thing should move. But it's got some.
It's got it's got. So when I got the event yesterday, I asked them like, how does it drive? They're like a ton of torque, and I'm like, it makes 162 pound-feet of torque.
Yeah.
I'm like, anything that doesn't start with a 2.5, like 250,
Two is like
like normal, like the Mazda 630.
Now, I don't know how much this weighs, but it does feel light to drive.
Yeah.
It's very light.
It does, yeah, for sure. It feels light, great visibility, lots of space in the back, longer
very
wheelbase.
pointy
Right?
with the handling too. Like
Yeah,
as soon as you.
It's pretty direct.
good,
Steering wheel is
yeah.
nice and soft. There is some like GM, obviously, like, you know, parts bin stuff here, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot. Like the screen it's good. It's good. I do like the width of this Apple CarPlay vibe going on here, because that's what it was going to use,
inches.
right? 11 inches of thunder.
That's what she said.
Yes, and you got a sunroof in this one. The one I just did a review on,
Which
like,
is optional.
Yeah, which is
on
optional.
all of them.
It is?
Except the Avenir.
in the Avenir. So they have 3 trims, right? Preferred
Sport Touring,
and Avenir. Avenir.
which means future.
Yeah, in français. I know. You know what, dude? It was funny because I swear, if they took the numbers away from how much horsepower and torque it makes, and you had to guess it, you'd definitely guess it has more than 132
So,
horsepower,
yeah,
right? There's
it's
no
incredible.
doubt,
Yeah.
man. There's no doubt. And I was saying in your video as well, if you guys haven't watched Omar's stuff, watch Omar's Instagram and obviously Omar's TikTok where he's murdering it, and his YouTube. And we talked about in his video how like if you just wipe the slate clean when it comes to numbers, this thing would definitely make like 185 horsepower and 185 pound-feet of torque is the number I would put down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put down 130. And the problem is that like it diminishes what the expectation is. You walk into a showroom and you're like, oh, it makes 136 horsepower, and you read the sign on this, on the side of the car, the Monrooney or whatever they call it, and you just wouldn't be interested in it because it makes such low horsepower, right?
I think this is one of those cars that just needs to be driven
Yeah, for sure.
by the person if you're interested in it.
For sure.
And then actually feel it, because walking into a dealership, seeing 136, 3 cylinders,
Yes.
you're going to be like, it's not enough for me.
Yes. And the reason I'm holding this is because Ian is not with me, and all my audio video is completely screwed up, which is why I'm recording the audio on my phone. So hopefully it is sexy for you.
It happens. These drive events are hectic.
No, I know. So they're marketing this vehicle generally to women. That is the shtick on this. In 2023, going into 2024. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if all women will jump on board of this. I do feel some guys will. It actually is a good looking vehicle.
Well, they said something about like how women make up, a majority of their
Buyers. Yes. But I don't know if they know, but Buick is 75 plus. So do you think the 75 plussers will be like, okay, I will
Who's
buy
really
this,
buying Buicks?
unless they're buying it for their grandkids, which and their grandkids are female, then maybe that's the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one.
Like, I see Buick trying really hard with the ad campaigns they have where they show young people going out on, you know, the town.
Yeah, loving life.
Or nightlife.
Life.
Like, oh my God, this car is Buick.
Yes. And agencies, if you're looking for any collabs or you need to spend your money, Omar will gladly take it. Oh man, that's funny.
As long as it's not biased.
Yes. As long as it's not biased. As long as we don't get paid to say what you want us to say. But
a lot of people seem to think that we get paid.
Yes. No. Actually, the only way we get paid. This is funny. We can talk about it. The only way we get paid is YouTube, or if we get like sponsorships from like stuff. So like we're like, yes, that person made us pay to drink this coffee, and it's sponsored by. Delicious. Yes. Well, speaking of noise, it's actually pretty well insulated. They talked about the insulation.
That just sounded loud because that was a
huge month. Yeah, that's like a double trolley there. But they use that in America. Double trolley, yeah. Like
double
two
trolley. Do you guys call trucks lorries?
No, we're not British. I think we're like ditching the Queen now. I'm like, she's dead, you know, we can move on to something else.
Get her off the currency.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Let's put Justin Bieber on the currency. Or who else? Which other? We should put Drake on the currency. I feel like Drake should be like $100 bills and Bieber should be $5 bills.
Or Dua Lipa or
Nelly
Furtado.
Oh, Nelly. No.
Dude, I had to say,
cannot put Nelly Furtado.
have some of the most amazing musical talent.
Yes, I feel like Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
Bryan Adams. Yeah, I'm vibing Bryan Adams.
Legends.
Shania Twain.
Legends.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Celine Dion.
Which other Canadians do you guys know? If you guys know Canadians that you respect and love, throw it in the comments below. Let us know. Celine Dion. Yeah, but Celine's tough, man.
She did not want to let you go.
Come on, buddy. Come on.
He's very upset.
No. It's a grandma. She's
one full car length behind.
She's mad. She doesn't know this is a Buick. If she knew this was a Buick, that is proof in the pudding right there. Yeah. If she knew this was a Buick, she would have not honked, dude.
She's like, oh,
she's like, I got
it's one of my people.
She's like, that's my peep. Okay, maybe if I slow down, she can see this new badge. Maybe she doesn't know. She doesn't recognize a new badge.
It's good. Buick did the right thing. Yeah.
Yes, Buick.
She's like, these youngsters, rebels.
Oh my God, it's so funny. But what's cool that you get 18-inch wheel standard, 19s as an option, which is dope.
17, 18, 19.
Oh, it's 17s?
17 preferred.
18s and 19s, okay.
18s on the Sport Touring and 19s on the Avenir.
Thank God you know the stuff, because I would have bombed this thing and people would be commenting like crazy.
About the wheel size? People do that, yeah.
Yeah, they like to comment, because I'm not like super technical. I'm like the basics, you know, like get in the car.
Well, the comment you'll see a lot on this is like, whoa, it's a Buick, still a Buick.
Yeah.
And the second comment you'll see 3-cylinder turbo, need a 6-cylinder.
Yes. But that is not true. Like, this doesn't come in hybrid, right? No hybrid. It doesn't come. The biggest knock on this thing.
Us as car enthusiasts, I understand we want more power and all this stuff, but like average car shopper who wants this as a comfortable, somewhat luxurious, affordable crossover.
For sure.
They don't care about that stuff.
Yeah, and as I'm puttering here, I'm doing 40 miles to 45 miles an hour, whatever. My foot on the throttle is like just lightly touching it, and we're moving. I don't need to be on it. It's not like,
as long as you have enough power to take over somebody on the highway.
Yes, and
it
does
on the highway, and it's got.
When you drove it, pulled onto the highway, it did have it for sure. And there's a ton of safety features in this thing. So we'll whip in and out of Omar's video. Actually, the audio is pretty crappy in my video. On both videos. On my video, yeah. So I'm gonna quickly just, if you want to run through maybe some of the safety features, or I'll roll with it. So we've got lane departure warning. You've got automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, forward collision assist, following distance indicator, which is what this heads-up display thingy looks like, and then auto high beams is standard. So as options, you can get rear park assist, the suspension, we'll talk about the suspension part, a blind spot indicator, and rear sensing wipers. Those are options. Everything else is standard.
And adaptive cruise.
Oh, and adaptive cruise, yes. So that's pretty awesome to come standard now. And obviously, you mentioned that other brands
like Honda and Toyota offer adaptive cruise control, lane tracing assist, where they'll stay in the lane.
Kia kills it on that, man. Kia kills it, man. Honestly,
Kia also charges extra for adaptive cruise control.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
But I just love the way it works. It's the
I just had a Kia
centering.
Seltos, and that had optional adaptive cruise control. And things.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that Kia, I don't know, other brands, I don't know why, just from my brain, I'm like, Kia has the best keeping in your lane.
Oh, 100%.
System. Like, it's so
Hyundai
good.
And Kia's and Genesis, like their lane-centric system.
Oh, it's amazing, dude. And it's like every 5 minutes you got to be like on the steering wheel, tap tap tap.
It's better than a Tesla, in my opinion.
Dude, the Tesla sucks. So there it is, the review of the 2024 Buick Envista. We'll see how it does. We'll see how it sells. Only time will tell, but I do think Buick has something good on their hands here. The design is awesome. It works. It has a lot of space, and obviously price is a big factor in this case. Buick is rebranding. They are killing it in sales as far as Q1 goes, and we'll see what the future has for their brand. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you go ahead and do so. We'll catch you on the next one.